The girl just came back to her room after taking a shower. She found a man lying on the bed. Behind her, the man explained that he didn't go to the wrong room. Then he took out the key to prove his innocence. Although the girl had doubts, she still hoped that the man could give her a private space. The girl was shocked. It was the first time for her to meet such a domineering man since childhood. Fortunately, her roommate came back in time and solved the awkward situation. At that time, Tasha wouldn't have thought that the red thread of fate had already bound her to that bastard. The next day, Tasha was reading a book in the library. Suddenly, a familiar figure appeared in front of her. Her appearance made Tasha unable to remain silent. The voice of the letter kept coming into her ears. She couldn't help but look at him secretly with her cornered eyes. Coincidentally, Hating's sight also turned to this side. She subconsciously dodged, but her heart jumped uncontrollably. After a while, she pretended to raise her head as if nothing had happened. Hating's sight still didn't leave. They looked at each other. Their eyes were fixed on each other. Yes, this is the feeling of heart fluttering at first sight. In the middle of the night, her roommate invited her to a party. Tasha wanted to refuse, but her heart was still moving. It seemed that she was also looking forward to something. After several rejections, she still agreed to her roommate's invitation. She wore a beautiful red dress and followed her roommate to the party scene. She looked carefully at every corner of the room. It was like looking for her own prey. Sure enough, she saw Hating in the room at the very end. But there was another girl sitting next to her. Tasha was a little disappointed. She picked up the wine from a friend and drank it. At the beginning of the game, the other party kept torturing her. She had to give up her true feelings and choose a big adventure. But everyone didn't want to let this good girl go. They wanted her to kiss Hating on the spot. Hating got up slowly and leaned towards Tasha. Her affectionate eyes made Tasha extremely nervous. At such a close distance, they could even feel each other's breath. She was scared by Hating's aura. Then she left here in a fit of laughter. The atmosphere of the party made her a little upset. Coincidentally, the phone rang at this time. It was Noya, her childhood sweetheart. The two of them had a big fight because of the party. This made Tasha, who was already upset, even more upset. She wanted to find a quiet place to calm down. She accidentally walked into a study. She picked up a book from the bookshelf. There was a full label on it. Tasha thought she was following her. She warned her not to have any ulterior motives. Hating told her this was her room. Then she took a look at the bookshelves in Tasha's hand. She said what was in it. Tasha was a little moved. He had never thought that this playboy had such a side. She began to let go of her guard. She introduced herself. Suddenly, Hating took a look at the bookshelves in her hand. Her body slowly approached her. The hot wave from the bookshelves made her lose her mind. She closed her eyes uncontrollably and got up. A quiet lake came into sight. The scenery here can make people forget all their troubles. Before Tasha could react, Hating took off her top and jumped into the water. Hearing her say this, Tasha's heart was trembling. But her dress is not suitable for swimming. Hating asked her to put on her clothes. Looking at Hating's expectant eyes, Tasha agreed to her invitation. Hating turned around at once. It's too embarrassing not to let her change her clothes. Then she took the girl down gently. The two of them took a deep breath in the middle of the lake. The lake slipped past her black hair. Hating was obsessed with her at once. Her affectionate eyes also made Tasha drunk. The ambiguous atmosphere became more intense. The distance between the two of them was getting closer and closer. However, at the most critical moment, Hating stopped. She told Tasha that there was still a lot of time in the future. This sudden gentleness completely crushed Tasha's psychological defense. Since then, Tasha no longer avoided her dating invitation. She also tried hard to integrate into her life. But Hating's performance made her feel a little cold. Not only did she not draw a clear line with other girls, but she still dared not announce their relationship. What's more, when Tasha asked the question, she denied what had happened before. Hating didn't answer. Tasha was disappointed and turned around and left here. When she returned to her bedroom, she tried to dress up to distract herself. However, in the middle of the night, she still had to stop. In her dream, Hating appeared in front of her again. She was still as gentle as before. After that, the two of them got together whenever they had time. They often hid in the library of Guangdong to find excitement, and often laughed on the grass. Whether it was the corridor of the school or the shadow of Guangdong, it became a place where they talked about love. Whenever they had time, Hating would secretly write notes on the notebook. Tasha was full of curiosity after seeing it. When she was trying to grab the notebook, her mother suddenly pushed the bedroom door open, and she angrily called Tasha out. She ordered her daughter to break up with Hating immediately and then focus on completing her studies. But Tasha shook her head. This is also the first time her daughter has contradicted herself since childhood. She laughed and complained that she lived in the eyes of adults. She had no space and ideals at all. Now she doesn't want to live that kind of life anymore. After a word of advice, her mother was disappointed and left. Not long after, she told this to Rand. Rand told her sincerely that Hating was very complicated. Be careful when you get along with her. But Tasha fell in love with her without reservation. So, she didn't take Rand's words to heart. In order to comfort Tasha's sad mood after arguing with her mother, Hating prepared a surprise for her. It was a clean and tidy room. It was also the beginning of their cohabitation. From that day on, they got tired of each other all day long. In addition to eating and drinking, they also made trouble. Occasionally, they would drive to a deserted grassland and release their love under the sunset. Although they only touch each other every day, they have never felt bored. Under Tasha's company, Hating gradually let go of her prejudice against her father. She also agreed to go to her father's wedding with her, because she understood that this was Tasha's wish all the time. But in front of her smiling father, Hating couldn't help feeling sad. Her father used to be a jerk. Her mother was raped because her father offended her for a long time. At that time, Hating was still a child. She had no ability to protect her mother. Since then, her mother left this family, and this has become a pain that she still can't erase. Tasha listened quietly. Her dark past made Tasha sad. At the same time, he made a decision in his heart to use his own love to comfort Hating's creative mind. Not long after, Hating's pursuer Molly found him. There was a strong smell of gunpowder in the conversation, but Tasha didn't care. After returning home, Hating's phone suddenly rang nonstop. She picked up the phone and found that it was a message. Tasha wanted to know what was hidden in it, but Hating didn't explain. Instead, he left a sentence. Do you believe my mother? He ran out without looking back. It rained outside the window all night. Tasha was in a bad mood in her room. She opened her phone again and again, but she still didn't receive Hating's message. After a while, Hating's friend guided her to a tavern. The pursuer Molly was also here. She deliberately provoked the relationship between Tasha and Hating and gave him a video of the first bet. You guys don't think I can make it happen? Here's a dare. Make that woman love me, and then turn it off. After being deceived by his beloved, the feeling of pain made him stay for a long time. Hating wanted to explain, but all the evidence was here. All the explanations seemed so pale and powerless. The beloved man was so strange at this moment. He ran away with a sad look on his face. Hating chased after him and tried to save him. But Tasha's heart was already broken. Even if it rains non-stop, he didn't care about anything and walked into the rain. The cold rain fell on him. At the same time, it also cooled his passionate love. He didn't go back to the small house with Hating, but went back to the house 100 kilometers away overnight. The moment he saw his mother, he fell into her arms. He didn't tell his mother what happened. He just felt guilty and said sorry to her. Under his mother's company, Tasha gradually came out of this relationship. He became the good girl who focused on learning. And the other side of Hating was absent-minded all day. Anything related to Tasha would make him think of her. He still came to the roof when he was as sad as usual. But this time, there was no sound of Tasha next to him. They were about to graduate soon. Since the last quarrel, the two of them have never appeared in each other's world. The day of graduation, the teacher gave Tasha a file bag. That was what Hating asked him to send. The file was full of their memories. At the bottom of the file was a letter from Hating. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. You once asked who I loved most in this world. It's you. Love is a poison, but also a cure. At the same time, it also attracts people's desire and yearning for a better life. Be brave to love. If regret is the destiny of life, the only thing we can do is to work harder and have fewer regrets.